The history of Islam in Texas does not commence with the grand modern mosques we see today in cities like Houston and Dallas. Instead, it began quietly in the early 20th century when a handful of immigrant families arrived, often in search of a better life. Drawn to Texas by its flourishing economy, particularly in agriculture, commerce, and later, oil, these early Muslim immigrants found themselves navigating a new world. Their practice of faith was largely private, very few displayed visible markers of their beliefs. Without mosques, community centers, or even dedicated prayer spaces, they held prayers at home, typically in a secluded room with family. During the 1940s and 1950s, the Muslim community began to form and organize. In Houston, a small group of families began to meet regularly for Friday prayers and holidays, gathering in rented halls or each other's homes. These gatherings served a dual purpose: to practice their faith collectively and to instill Islamic values in their children, many of whom were born in the United States and raised in a distinctly different cultural environment. Amidst these efforts, the aspiration to establish a proper mosque took root. After years of hard work, fundraising, and the support of the growing Muslim community, Texas witnessed the inauguration of its first mosque, the Islamic Center of Houston, in 1959. Since the 1970s, Islam in Texas has embarked on a remarkable journey, marked by rapid and visible growth fueled by multiple waves of immigration. This transformation has been both quantitative and qualitative. During this period, there has been a significant influx of immigrants from numerous Muslim-majority countries, including Pakistan, India, Egypt, Iran, Turkey, Nigeria, Bangladesh, and Indonesia, among others. Many of these new arrivals are highly skilled professionals, doctors, engineers, researchers, and university professors, recruited by Texas hospitals, universities, and major corporations, particularly within the healthcare, technology, energy, and oil industries. Simultaneously, a growing number of Muslim students flock to Texas universities, drawn by the region's exceptional higher education opportunities. Many decide to remain in Texas after graduation, starting families and actively contributing to the development of the local Muslim community. As the Muslim population expanded, gatherings for prayer in living rooms or garages became increasingly inadequate. By the 1980s and 1990s, mosques began to emerge in all major Texas cities. These places of worship evolved into vibrant community centers, offering not just spiritual support but also weekend schools, madrasas, Quran classes, cultural events, conferences, weddings, social services, and sometimes even free medical care. A notable example of this growth is the Islamic Society of Greater Houston, ISGH, which was founded in 1969 but truly flourished in the 1980s. Today, this organization oversees more than 20 mosques across Houston, managing Islamic schools, cemeteries, social programs, and much more. In major urban areas such as Houston, Dallas, Austin, and San Antonio, many mosques attract worshippers from diverse backgrounds. Some mosques maintain a more homogeneous identity, often established by specific groups like Somalis or Turks, and Islamic centers primarily run by African Americans. While this diversity can occasionally lead to tensions or cultural misunderstandings, it also fosters ongoing dialogue and a spirit of open-mindedness. Prominent Texan Muslim organizations, such as the Muslim American Society and CARE Texas, work diligently to promote unity among the different factions of the community. The evolution of the Muslim community in Texas extends beyond the confines of mosques. Many Muslims actively participate in civil society through neighborhood associations, humanitarian efforts, initiatives to assist the homeless, and blood donation campaigns. They also engage in interfaith initiatives, forging connections with Christians, Jews, Hindus, and other spiritual groups to build bridges of understanding and cooperation. Despite their growth and positive contributions to Texas society, Muslims have encountered numerous challenges that persist to this day. Among the most notable issues are religious stigmatization, everyday discrimination, and rising Islamophobic sentiments, which at times have reached alarming levels. These obstacles have often prompted the Muslim community to unite and advocate for itself while also intensifying efforts to raise awareness and gain recognition. Prior to the September 11 attacks in 2001, Texas Muslims experienced a relatively subdued existence. They faced occasional prejudice but seldom encountered overt hostility. However, everything changed following that tragic day. The attacks not only shook the nation but also unfairly spotlighted the Muslim community, leading to a wave of Islamophobia across Texas and the United States. In the aftermath, a surge of Islamophobic incidents occurred. Mosques were vandalized. Veiled women became targets of verbal and physical assaults. Muslim children faced intimidation in schools. Muslim men were arrested or interrogated without cause, judged solely by their appearance or names. In this climate of fear, many Texas Muslims found themselves reluctant to openly practice their faith, wear the hijab, or attend their places of worship. Rather than retreating into themselves, the Texas Muslim community responded to these challenges with resilience, intelligence, and determination. Organizations such as CARE Texas, Council on American-Islamic Relations, became instrumental in defending civil rights. They provided legal assistance to victims of discrimination, launched awareness campaigns, and educated young Muslims on active citizenship. Additionally, mosques began hosting open doors events, inviting non-Muslims to explore and understand Islam. These initiatives played a crucial role in breaking down stereotypes and fostering dialogue. Numerous Texas mosques have established partnerships with churches, synagogues, and interfaith groups. Together, they have organized community events, shared meals, engaged in humanitarian efforts, and held joint vigils in response to acts of hate. This groundbreaking work has helped forge strong connections between Muslims and the broader Texas community, particularly in urban centers. Pastors, priests, rabbis, and imams now regularly engage in meaningful dialogues, collectively affirming that religious diversity is indeed an asset for Texas. Despite the challenges, tensions, and trials it has encountered over the decades, Islam in Texas today is firmly positioned on a forward-looking path. The Texas Muslim community has increasingly integrated into society, embodying a model that harmonizes devotion to faith with active participation in public life. Particularly, the younger generations are playing a critical role in this positive transformation. Today's young Muslim Texans are more visible, educated, and assertive than ever before. Many were born or raised in Texas, speaking English with a distinct Southern accent, familiar with American cultural norms, yet they remain steadfast in their Islamic values. Texas mosques have evolved beyond mere places of worship. They have transformed into modern, well-organized centers of influence, focusing on education, social support, interfaith dialogue, and the cultivation of future leaders. Ambitious initiatives are emerging, such as bilingual Islamic schools, free community clinics, mentorship programs for youth, educational digital platforms, shelters for Muslim women affected by violence. This ability to establish enduring institutions signifies that the Muslim community is no longer just concerned with survival, it is dedicated to long-term growth and development. The narrative of Islam in Texas is a story of courage and humanity. It begins with a handful of immigrant families, endures the painful stigma of being marginalized, and ultimately thrives through the establishment of robust institutions, civic engagement, and a renewed sense of pride in a multifaceted identity, Muslim, Texan, and American. This journey underscores the power of faith when rooted in principles of justice, peace, and solidarity. In response to mistrust, Texas Muslims have embraced openness. Faced with injustice, they take action. In a world where they were often overlooked, they have fostered dialogue, built bridges, and claimed their rightful place in public life. Today, the Texas Muslim community represents a new generation of leaders, thinkers, entrepreneurs, and educators who can bridge the gap between spiritual traditions and the realities of the modern world. Their presence is no longer on the periphery, instead, it is becoming an integral pillar of Texas's social fabric. There's still a long way to go, and many challenges remain. But what distinguishes the story of Islam in Texas is this ability to move forward with hope, to build in the storm, and to believe, always, that harmony between faith and citizenship is not only possible, but necessary. This story is not just the story of Texas Muslims. It's a universal lesson in resilience, dignity, and integration, in a world that so desperately needs examples of unity in diversity.